This video was sponsored by Enhance, Neowatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? This is Avatr 11 long range. It's Chang'an's luxury brand. Well, you know, it's like the big brother of the Deepal. Yeah, they're on the same Chang'an group. And I want to show you what kind of luxury car do we actually have here in Thailand. Well, this is one of them. So it's quite big and comfy, but then how practical is it and how nice is it? Let's find out. Let's check out the front first. But man, what's up with this? Remember, I need to get my luggage and then, okay, keep the front open. Why are the Chinese cars so noisy? Why do you need to honk at me? I know that the front is open, I can see it. Yes, the car tries to lock while I move away, but then it's a but the front here is actually quite big. So it's so big that it can fit a baby here, you see? Actually two babies. Oh yeah, you also want to get in there? Okay, it's about one. Well, the big baby and the small baby. Look at this. You can have your children in here while you're driving, no problem. When you're bored of the noise they make inside the car. Okay, let's get out. But just to show you how spacious this frunk is, you can easily fit 2 coconuts. Well, I would say maybe 10 coconuts in here, no problem. And look at the butt. Oh yeah, it is a nice sexy butt. And then I set it so that the spoiler comes up. You can set it to come up at high speed or in sport mode or always. So because this is rear wheel drive, you must have the spoiler up. And then, okay, well, I think if we open it, oh, interesting, it stays on there. But yeah, I mean, the trunk has okay size. We have this, you can take off that. We have a 12-volt outlet there. We have the ski opening there. Actually, it has some, we have some carpet in the inside. Some of the premium Deutsche brands like Porsche and I think it was Mercedes, BMW. It's just pure metal here. They didn't bother putting carpet in here. Here's a subwoofer. And we have 4 sturdy hooks for securing cargo. And then actually also a little bit more space here. And what the heck is this thing? It's big and black. And then let's do a measurement, but I need to do it with a manual. Okay, the depth here is 94 plus 6, 100 centimeter. And the width here seems to be okay. Wow, it's actually 108 centimeters, quite wide. And actually up to 114 centimeters, the widest. Height though is not that great. Around here for the highest part, around 52 centimeters, and then down to only around 42 centimeters on the lowest part. Loading height is fixed, no air suspension here, 75 centimeters. And in the back, we have automatic opening of the doors. Wait, didn't I set it to the widest? It has several settings. I set it to the widest, but it can actually go slightly more. And then the width of the seat here is, wow, quite wide, 133 centimeters. And then you sit comfortably. You have, oh, my phone, 9, Achtung. Oh man, the new short. Oh shit. Oh, I got it out. Okay, let's leave the phone somewhere else, right, while we're doing the review. Put it in the front here maybe. Well, I was going to show you that we have actually plenty of legroom. I'm sitting behind myself now. This is amazing. And then you can actually recline slightly also. Let's see. Okay, that's upright position. You can recline slightly. But this manual. Maybe you need to get the luxury, you need to get the royal version with the all-wheel drive to get everything electric. And the seating height feels okay. Let me measure it. Actually, it's not that great. Around 32, 33 centimeters only. Yeah, for example, Model Y has 36 or 35, I think. So for me, who has short legs, then it's okay. But for other people, it might be sitting kind of like this, just to illustrate. But I noticed this, the tint doesn't go all the way to the edge of the glass. It doesn't even have the even shape here. This is really cool tint. Is this a good job, or what do you guys think? Maybe you're not supposed to go all the way to the edge. I mean, it has really good soundproofing when I drive it, especially against the undercarriage, despite it have 22-inch wheels, but it doesn't have acoustic glass neither in the back or the front. Wow, you have so much leg room. We have a pocket here for storing some stuff. This, I don't know what it is. Are you supposed to put your tablet here? Is this some kind of handle? Ich weiß nicht. We have nice air vents in the back here, but no extra controls. There's one USB-C there. And then, okay, if you want to close the door, you can press this button and then it closes. Nice interior light there. Also soft materials. We have this style window. But actually it seems to be logic, because you push it this direction to go down, and then this to go up. It's like when you, this, okay. I think you're supposed to be able to put something accessory in here. And then we have this interesting three part glass, so two up there and one bigger up here. Headroom is quite good. I have a little bit over a fist of clearance. We have some handles here. Headrest, they are fixed, and they have this sporty look on the headrest. I don't know what is the purpose of this. The opening there. It's like it's gonna mimic the front here, right? But okay, but it still looks nice. But that means no adjustable headrest. But also you see the interior light goes all the way there and also in the back here. So for, I don't know, it's probably not SUV, it's like a tall sedan. It's actually quite spacious in the back. But what about the middle seat? Oh, this is so weird, man. When I sit here, I sit comfortably, but in the middle seat, when I sit dude, this is, it kind of sinks in the middle here. That feels uncomfortable. And then we have the middle console with a little table there, and then cup holder here, and then to access the ski opening. What that? That doesn't be Asian size skis. It's so small compared to the Germans. The Germans, you probably usually open up the whole thing there. Okay, I think that's still fine. And then wait, don't we have headrest in the middle here? Oh, there, of course, yeah. So adjustable headrest there, also there. That's good that the safety here is on top. But dude, the same in the back, just like in the front. If you want to open the door, you do this. Nothing happens. You do it hard. Like, it does not press and hold maybe. Nope. So you always must double click. Maybe to prevent accidentally opening it while you're on the move, but I tried it. When you are driving, you cannot open the door. But when you close it, you can simply do it like that. So it becomes kind of annoying, but maybe it's just me nitpicking. When it comes to the Isofix, they are not the best. I had Isabel's seat here, the Cybex Anoris T, and you can feel the hooks there, but there is some fabric beneath that hook that tends to actually get hooked into, or stuck in the hook also. So not the best solution, but it kind of works. And in the front you also have electric opening of the doors, but it doesn't go all the way out even though we set it. But you see, it can go even further out. So that's good, at least for the back when you unload children. And then here we have nice seating position. And the steering wheel and the mirrors, they are adjusted via the scroll wheel here, you know. There's no button there. And then the sun visor is interesting. It sets really hard there. You pivot it over there and you can open here. you cannot extend it. And when you're ready to drive, then you just press the brake and it closes for you. Nice. Nice design here. It has the, what is this, a protective cover? What the heck is this? Why does it look, yeah, there is protective film here. Just like here. You know, you keep the protective film on until the day you sell the car. And it has this interesting speaker, center speaker design there. And then, unfortunately, the instrument cluster here cannot be changed to show anything else. It will always show the bar there, and then the picture of the car, and then the speed and whatever there. At least it shows you how many percent battery you have. And look, even at 84%, you have 575 kilometers. I have done a range test. This car is simply amazing. It can go quite far. It has 116 kilowatt hour battery and it's rear-wheel drive. So yeah, the range there is actually realistic in Thailand. And then look here. You wanna not send data to China, or do you wanna send data to China? You have the option to do that. Wonderful. It has this stock, Tesla style stock or Mercedes style stock. Change gear, you know, reverse, and then it changes some stuff here, and then put the car in park. And then we have also Tesla style. I think Tesla were one of the first to introduce this scroll wheel, and then you can go left and right, and then also click on it. Yeah, but the scroll wheel here feels kind of cheap. I feel like even Tesla's, like Model 3 scroll wheel, has better resistance and doesn't feel that cheap. On this side also you can do some stuff here. Don't remember what was the function on this, and you can also go like this, and if you press it, you have the hotkey. So now we change what mode you'd cycle between different modes. That sport mode. But what's up with the sound effects, man? The Chinese and the freaking sound effects, can they just cut off that shit? I don't want that. At least let the people choose whether they want it or not. And then we actually have illuminated here for the adjustment, so that's nice. Yeah. At night you can easily see where the buttons are, but they also here Mercedes style. They have it here, not down there like most other cars. And then, yeah, interesting design here also on the steering wheel. The steering wheel feels a bit, how they put this, it doesn't feel that nice and soft to touch, unlike, for example, what the German brands or even the MG IM6 I tested recently. So, I mean, it's nice and sturdy, at least, but it's not that soft. Okay, maybe not nitpicking. And then more nitpicking, this thing here, the backup camera thingy, you can turn it off. There's a button there. Turn it to optical instead. But it always defaults to the camera every time I re-enter the car. So that's also annoying. I tried to find it in the setting. I can't find it. It has lots of settings. See here? Like a lot of settings. At least it's well organized. You should be able to find whatever you're looking for. But also looking for a search button, because there's so, like, you have the menu hierarchy here, but also the sub menu here. So it becomes kind of hard to find some settings now and then. And then also there is a swipe down here with the hotkeys here. So very nice, lots of options. At least we have charging pad here with cooling, perfect for overheating iPhones. Some light there, actually some air vents here. The air vents are also adjusted here, show that you do this also Tesla style. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying Taycan style. How about that? So yeah, just like that. And then if you want the dog mode, you can go here. And then you have the scenario mode, like many other Chinese cars. And then you have rest, rest, pet mode, fireplace, car washing, keep climate on, and cinema. What the heck? Okay, but if you do the pet mode, which I tend to use, you can set the temperature here. Please come back soon. I'll be waiting patiently for you. Okay. So at least it shows something there. Yeah. But wait, at 25 exit. Wait, was that the temperature I set here? Let me try. If I do this and then 26 and then go to pet mode, confirm. It doesn't. I see. It defaults to 25. It doesn't take the current temperature for some reason. That's also a bit weird. Okay, back. Also, I don't know if this has something to do with the protective film, because when I do this, very often when I drive, it doesn't react to my touches, and I need to need to touch several times. Maybe it's just because the protection is on. They always run without protection, like Uncle Bjorn. That's why I have so many kids. Yeah, there's a screen over there. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Wish I could turn it off, but okay, whatever. So we have two cup holders here. We have this button actually beneath here to open the center console, and there you have the 12 volt outlet in the front, plus a USB-C, and also I think that's a micro SD. Yeah, so it's actually nice and deep, the front here. And then you also have the I call it the bridge design. Oh, sorry, it is tight. I just illustrate how tight it is. There you have space for some stuff. I put some of the camera equipment there, but it is really tight to reach items in there when you are sitting. And here, what I can do is I can usually reach from this side, but reaching from this side is like, yeah. So yeah, but then just they don't have that much space. And then headroom here, plenty, almost 2 fists. So there you guys have it, the Avatr 11. In Thailand, there's also an Avatr 07, which is a bit smaller and cheaper. But this is the top of the crop of the premium from, or actually the luxury from Chang'an. So what do you guys think, huh? You know, the D-Pal is already selling in Norway and maybe some other European countries. So maybe eventually Chang'an will also start selling the Avatr. Would you like it? Okay, that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.